All right, let's talk about the death of the album format. Now, this isn't new. Artists have been putting out singles for ages. In fact, artists have been putting out singles before the album format even existed. You could go back mid 1960s when, the 7-inch single, 45, one song, A side, B side, that was the standard. But then rock and roll came along. Then you had, Dark Side of the Moon, and you had Abbey Road, and up to current day, whether it be an album like, The Downward Spiral by Nine Inch Nails or something. Can you imagine those albums being trickled out as singles? Can you imagine not getting the deep cuts that are on all of those fantastic albums from the, again, mid-60s up to current day? Now, let me say this. There are plenty of artists who are still dedicated to the album format. But when you look at mainstream music, singles have taken over. Again, not new. This has been going on for years since the advent of iTunes, digital music. Audiences have been clamoring for singles. It confuses the hell out of me. This is a total get off my lawn video. This is a video where I'm going to show my age, and I'm going to say that I am dedicated to the album format as a listener. And I'll tell you why. Because it gives you context. Like, if I'm going to commit my time to listening to an album, whether it's streaming, whether it's on vinyl, regardless of format, if I'm going to spend my time dedicating myself to an artist, I want the full picture. I don't want to click play on a Netflix series and just start on the last episode or pick it up in the middle. I don't want to go in to watch a new movie and just start it midway through and miss the whole first part, because there's so much value in the sections within a series or within a movie, or for me, within an album. So for me, as you see where music is going, again, on the mainstream, and now I'm watching interviews with artists a lot of times where they'll even mention like they're pressured into just putting out singles because that's all anybody listens to. That's the only way to go viral on TikTok, whatever the hell that means. The reality is it worries me. It worries me that, my kids or maybe my grandkids won't know what the album format is. Now, I'm not completely naive. I know that the history is not going to be erased of an album like Dark Side of the Moon or Abbey Road, or name any amazing album from front to back. I know it's just not going to disappear, but I can tell you from watching what my kids who are teenage age consume and how they consume music. Now, they've grown up in my house, so they have a greater appreciation for music than most. I assure you of that. They've gone to tons and tons of concerts, and they own turntables and record collections. Now, but most of the time, they still just stream music because it's so convenient. But I struggle when my son comes to me and he's like, check out this new artist. And he sends me a link to it, which is super cool. I'm glad that he shares music with me because I certainly share music with him. But a lot of times he'll send it to me and it's just one fucking song. And I'm like, it's not even enough for me to bite off to get a taste, right? The same can happen to me when I come across an artist and I see it, click on it, whatever it may be, a short, whatever. And then I go explore it and I'm like, oh shit, they've only got like 3 singles out. Like, where's the album? Where's the meat? Where's the substance? That's what I'm looking for as a listener. And so I just really hope that the album format never dies. Like, I hope artists stay committed to it. Not only artists right now, but I'm talking in the future. I'm talking longevity of what the music industry is turning into and where it goes over the next 10, 20, 30 years when I'll still be alive and I'll still be watching it and still be tracking it. I know there's going to be old dudes like me who are still listening to the stuff from the 60s or the 70s, or me, the 90s or the 2000s. Like, those albums are never going to disappear from my mind. But as I think about future generations, like, it worries me that they're basically getting accustomed to just the singles, or heaven forbid, not even the single, but a fucking 15-second slice of the single, because that's all they've heard on name your social media platform that they're swiping on, right? And so it's discouraging to see how important singles have become, not only as the forefront of the album, because again, singles have always been launched to traditionally to promote what's behind them, which is the full painting, the full piece of work, right? The full series, the full movie, the full album, like the trailer, right? That's singles were always used at this trailer, and now the music industry has flopped it to where now the trailer is all that most people ever see. That's disappointing. It's discouraging. It's worrisome for someone like myself that that has such an affinity towards the album format. And I think for artists, I'd encourage them to keep the eye on the ball. Keep your eye on the ball in regards to creating a complete piece of work that captures a moment in time over the course of your life. Like that's what an album represents, I think, to a lot of artists who commit to that format. As they go, like they can look back and go, man, during that period, I wrote all of these songs, recorded all of these songs. Here it is. This was me during those years. I want you to experience it as a fan. And then as a fan, I take that and I have an experience with it because I can put myself in their shoes and I can listen to the ups and downs of the album, not only the key tracks or the singles, but the deep cuts and the segues in between and how they relate to each other and what the sequence is. Like all of that stuff matters when you're putting out an album, but it all disappears if you're just putting out singles. So what do you think? Am I crazy? Am I alone? Am I just an old man and I'm saying get off my lawn? Probably so, but that's okay with me. But I really hope that the album format never dies because I really, really love it and I appreciate it and I get so much enjoyment out of it. So let me know what you think in regards to the album format versus singles. How do you consume your music regardless of format, whether it's on vinyl, streaming, whatever it may be? The conversation remains and I'd be curious to see what other people think. Talk to you soon.